Did you guys see that woman talking about her father getting kicked out of the nursing home? Well, apparently the nursing homes are kicking out their Medicare patients. And she was like, why would they do that? And everyone in the comments was like, honey, this is what you voted for. This is Medicare cuts. This is the big, beautiful bill. And she was like, no, that's not it. Yes, it is. I work in skilled nursing. 90% of the residents that are in there, they are Medicare patients. These buildings stay open because of Medicare. They will close down. They will not care for your aging parents and grandparents for free. They will send them home to you. You will have to quit your job and stay home and take care of them. That means you're going to have to be the caregiver for your father, your husband, your kids. You're going to have to quit your job. You're going to do all this on half the income for your household. This economy is going to suffer greatly when these places start closing down. This is one of the reasons, this is the main reason why I did not want to rely on the U.S. for my income while I'm living abroad. The economy here is bound to crash. When you cut Medicare like that and these places close, a lot of people are going to lose their jobs. The dollar is going to suffer. There is no forethought with these people. They have no idea what is happening.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Global Views with George. Now, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button and join the conversation, because today we're diving into something that's affecting millions of Americans, losing their health care, all thanks to Trump's great leadership. Now, it's kind of funny. In the Make America Great Again era, everything that actually makes life great for ordinary Americans, like affordable health care, somehow ends up on the chopping block. Coincidence? I don't think so.
My friend who's retired, I believe she's 67 now, just got her Medicare Advantage premium details for next year. And her out-of-pocket maximum expense went from $4,200 a year to over $10,000. So if she has some kind of emergency where she requires hospitalization or emergency room care on a retiree's income, she gets to pay up to $10,200. This is Republican policy. She lives in the state of Indiana. And this is what all the cuts to everything are doing, all the budget cuts to every state. And these are the decisions each state is making individually on what's going to be cut, who's going to have to pay more. And people think that there's going to be an end to this shutdown. You've got Caroline Leavitt lying, Donald Trump lying about all these people not getting paid, all of these layoffs. They don't give a rat's ass about layoffs. If they did, they would have cared about the 280,000 federal workers who lost their job because the guy who runs X and his little 19-year-olds wanted to give so much more money to the billionaire class in tax cuts that they just stuck it to all of us. They didn't care about those 280,000 employees, former employees. And now we're coming up to nearly 1 million Americans laid off because of the tariffs, because of all the funding cuts, because of all the deportations. Almost 1 million employees. They don't care about them. They don't care about them. And to think that Republicans actually believe this administration cares about the government workers being furloughed right now over this shutdown thing. Macro view. Project 2025 wants the Affordable Care Act completely dismantled. They're gutting it. This is on their way to doing that. Once it's gutted, there'll be no more government subsidies for any of us, meaning our tax dollars being pooled collectively and then dispersed to bring down our healthcare costs. No, instead, they're going to privatize everything. So their cronies are going to make a shit ton of money, starting companies that can fill the need or just giving contracts to the companies that already exist, all those MAGA donors. And nothing will be for us. Everything will be out of pocket. We are fucked. So this shutdown is not going to end because Republicans care about people being laid off or because they care about how much we're going to be paying for health care. So there you go. In the meanwhile, look for all your premium hikes next year. And now foreclosures, it was just announced, foreclosures are at an all-time high because people can't afford to live in their homes. It's all coming together swimmingly.
Why are you voting to keep Medicaid? Why are you voting on Medicaid cuts? Can you tell us why?
Medicaid saves lives.
This baby is on Medicaid. This baby's life is saved because of Medicaid, and you are voting to reduce Medicaid. Look, you can run away from us now, but you can't run away from a bad vote. The people will remember.
First off, Medicaid is AID, so there's that. Number two, stop falling for stupid shit. They already proved that the people on Medicaid that are going to lose Medicaid are not committing fraud. My 70-year-old grandmother is not committing fraud. The disabled veteran is not committing fraud. The 8-year-old that needs Medicaid because his mom doesn't make enough money working 3 jobs is not committing fraud. And here's a further point. Every single person on the planet deserves health care. Period. 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 There is no more. Full stop. Take your opinion. You know what to do with it. People deserve health care. Period. I am happy to pay. If it means that people don't have to suffer and not have health care they need, I am happy to pay. Raise my taxes. Do it. I would much rather my taxes go towards Medicaid or some form of social health care so that everyone is taken care of. Food assistance so that everyone has food to eat. Housing assistance so that people have a place to live than spending $900 billion on fucking airplanes we don't goddamn need to invade countries we got no business in. Raising the wages for Congress when they don't do the right thing anyway. Tax cuts for the ultra wealthy. That is not where I want my taxes to go. I will gladly pay more in taxes if it means everyone in this country has medical has the medical assistance, has the medical care they need, food to eat, and a place to live. I will gladly pay more in taxes. Gladly. And if you don't have that attitude, I can't say it. I'm on TikTok. I can't say it. But you know. You know. You know. Get out.
This is Jose. He works as a janitor. Emily works here as a self-advocate specialist. Xavier works at a movie theater. Athena works at a grocery store. Colleen is a fitting room attendant. Matt runs a coffee cart. And Andrew works at a lumberyard. A lot of those jobs are made possible by supported employment programs. This is considered a home and community-based service, which is often the first thing to be cut whenever there is a Medicaid cut. These services are considered optional, even though for somebody with a disability, something like getting a job might be dependent on that service. So to recap, a lot of people in that video did in fact have jobs, but they needed a Medicaid-funded program in order to get that job.
Social Security and Medicare will start to run out of money sooner than we first thought. And that means when your time comes to collect on Social Security and Medicare, if Congress doesn't do something, you will be getting less in your Social Security check and fewer benefits than those who receive Social Security and Medicare today. Now, that is not my opinion. Those are the facts based on the latest annual report from the trustees of the Social Security and Medicare Trust Fund. And I'm going to talk all about that report. Important report. Every single year, the trustees put out the report, which gives Congress a real-time assessment of how long we have until the money runs out in the trust fund and Social Security and Medicare benefits start to shrink for all Americans. It's important for you to understand, theoretically, when the money runs dry in these trust funds, that does not mean that Social Security and Medicare will cease to exist and you get nothing. No! It just means if we get to that point, the amount of benefits you would receive would be reduced. Second, this can change, but only if our lawmakers in the House and the Senate start to make some tough decisions, which so far they have been unwilling to do. Now, I'm going to talk about what can be done to fix this in a second, but most importantly, according to the current assessment of the Social Security Trust Fund, Social Security benefits will be able to be paid out at 100% until 2033. That is just 8 years from now. After 2033, the report says people who receive Social Security will only receive 77% of the benefits that recipients receive today. The Disability Insurance Trust Fund is in much better shape than Social Security. The report says 100% of those scheduled benefits can be paid out through at least 2099. Each of those programs are legally separate, but the trustees often combine them to give an indication of the overall health of the Social Security program. And when they're combined, the new projection in this report says these programs will only be able to pay out 100% of benefits to all beneficiaries until 2034. That is 1 year earlier than last year's report. After 2034, the report says beneficiaries would be paid at 81% of what beneficiaries today are receiving. Now, that is theoretical because in order for those trust funds to be combined, Congress would have to pass a new law. Lastly, when it comes to Medicare, the trustees report says the Hospital Insurance Trust Fund, which funds part of Medicare, will be able to pay 100% of scheduled benefits until 2033. That is 3 years earlier than last year's projections. After 2033, beneficiaries would only receive 89% of Medicare benefits being distributed today. So let's talk about why this is happening. There's a couple of simple reasons. First, there are more people drawing on Social Security and Medicare than there are people contributing to the programs. People are living longer, so they're drawing on the program for longer, and fewer babies are being born who would ultimately contribute to this program with their tax money. The other important reason for the benefit reduction, according to the trustees, is the recent law passed by Congress called the Social Security Fairness Act, which allowed about 3 million more public sector workers to receive Social Security benefits. Of course, the Social Security program is financed almost exclusively by all of our payroll taxes. It's important for you to understand when those Social Security and Medicare taxes get taken out of your paycheck every pay period, that money is not going into a special savings account just for you. No, that money goes into places like these trust funds to pay for the people who are using the Social Security and Medicare benefits right now. So let's talk about the politics of all of this. There are really only 3 ways to fix this. 1, the government can pump more money into Social Security and Medicare by increasing your taxes. 1A to that would be Congress could increase the number of people who have to pay Social Security taxes. In case you didn't know, in 2025, any amount of money you make over $176,100 is not subject to Social Security tax. So technically, lawmakers could remove that cap or increase that cap and generate a whole lot of income for Social Security from people who are making more than $176,100 a year. 2, the government could increase the retirement age so people pay into the program longer and then have to wait longer to start withdrawing from the program. Or 3, the government can just take on more debt to keep paying for the program as it is with no reduction of benefits and not raising the retirement age. Now, the fact is this: Social Security and Medicare will cease to exist eventually if no changes are made to the program's benefits or funding structure. So far, neither Congress nor President Trump have provided any plan to fix this massive problem. All President Trump has said is that Social Security will not be touched, but that will not fix the funding shortfall.
So here we are again, another government shutdown. Planes grounded, workers unpaid, and now Americans losing their healthcare coverage because Trump decided that blaming the Democrats is more productive than governing. Remember Medicare, the little thing that helps seniors get life-saving treatments and medications. Yeah, apparently it's now too expensive. But tax cuts for billionaires, that's just good business, right? Trump could have reached a bipartisan deal with Democrats to protect Medicare, expand coverage, and avoid this mess. But instead, he chose the chaos route, shutting down the government like a kid flipping the Monopoly board because he's losing. He's out there in front of camera saying Democrats don't care about the American people. Meanwhile, his own administration is the reason grandma can't refuel her prescription and single parents are losing access to affordable care. And let's not forget the irony. Trump claims to be protecting freedom, but gotten health care, I don't know if you balance that. You protect freedom and you're gotten health care. Freedom for who exactly? Freedom for pharmaceutical giants to charge $800 for insulin? Or freedom for hospitals to send you a $50,000 bill for a broken arm? What a patriotic dream. It's like watching someone set their own house on fire just to prove they didn't need smoke alarms in the first place. Now, at the end of the day, healthcare shouldn't be a political weapon. It's a basic human right. It's necessity. But under Trump's shutdown and his anti-Medicare crusade, it's becoming a luxury item. One that millions of Americans simply can't afford anymore. So what do you think? Should healthcare be off limits from political games? Do you believe the government shutdown was worth risking Americans' access to healthcare? And most importantly, do you trust Trump to ever put people before politics? Drop your thoughts in the comment section. I want to hear from you what your thoughts are. And as always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more real talk and global views. Until next time, stay informed, stay sharp, and keep the conversation going. Credit belongs to original creators.